Hey everybody, this is Matt Goldsman from GamersCast, and I'm here to answer one simple question. Should you buy FIFA 14? Keep in mind that the build of FIFA 14 I am referring to in this review is the Xbox One and PS4 version. Specifically, I played on the PS4, but the two builds are near identical. This build of the game is different from the version that came out on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC. Because the newer versions, or at least the next-gen versions, or this gen now, they take advantage of EA's new Ignite engine, which is EA's next-gen sports engine, which they basically are going to start using for everything. But it's the first generation of it. But this is the first time that we have new FIFA game, and we have one on the old engine that's refined and one on this engine. I didn't have too much experience on the last-gen build of the game. I've played it a few times, and it felt sufficiently different, but this version of the game is definitely the dominant one of the FIFA 14s, no shock there. The most noticeable thing, obviously, I think, is the visuals of the game. Everything seems to pop out and stand out much, much more. The crowd is no longer made up of 2D sprites. They are now 3D modeled people, which adds a lot more immersion, and it makes it look a lot more realistic, and it makes it a whole lot better. There's also away fans now, so if you are the away team and you score a goal, the camera will occasionally pan over and show the away fans in the stadiums cheering their heads off, surrounded by a bunch of disappointed home fans. And that, for me, I don't know why, I really, really, really love that addition. It's something very simple that they added, and it makes a whole lot of difference. Another thing that makes a huge difference to me is they added a lot more animations to this version, so it's very rare you'll see two players make the same sort of animation after a certain action at the same time. It's because there are so many more animations, so it gives this sort of realism to it, and it makes all the motions and movements feel that much more fluid. Commentary wise, great commentary. I really like the commentary duo. They're always superb as usual. Didn't hear all too many repeat lines, so that's always good, because I don't know, I always feel like EA is notorious for having those repeat lines in and out and all over the place across their sports games. But I didn't notice all too much of it this time. Either that, or it's just being pulled back from very old FIFAs and I just don't pick up on it. All in all, though, the gameplay-wise, the Ignite engine, compared to the last-gen version of FIFA 14, is it's a noticeable difference. It's a small, slim difference. Like, it's close enough to the point where it still feels like FIFA, but it feels like an extra year has passed. I feel like this would be like the next year's FIFA in comparison to last-gen. All in all, it makes the gameplay feel a lot more smooth, a lot nicer. What is really good about this one is I feel the players aren't as stiff. They're still pretty stiff, but they're as good as you're going to get from a football or soccer game nowadays. What's really nice is the player and the ball. In the past, they felt like one giant entity. Like, they felt like a magnet. Like, if you're a player with the ball, it's a package deal. You just see yourself as the player. This time, it feels like the way the engine handles, it feels like the ball and the player are two separate entities, and you have to accurately control them. So it's a very, very, very nice polish to it. Overall, I really like it. And this is a very solid addition to the FIFA series, and it shows a lot from what's to come, especially from these next-gen generations. EA said they're still going to support the old systems, which makes sense, because last year with FIFA 13, they made that was the last game to come out on the PS2. And this is the first year that FIFA didn't come out on the PS2, thank God, because that build was essentially the same as FIFA 06 every time for the past few years. Overall, it's not a huge improvement over the last-gen iteration, but it's a noticeable one. So I'm not sure if it's worth the upgrade if you already have a PS3 or Xbox 360 version of it. If you have the PC version of it, I don't know what you're doing, because I don't know, the PC version's always been a bit iffy with FIFA. And it's really odd that they didn't get the next-gen engine, but whatever. all in all, though, I really like this FIFA. Other things that the Ultimate Team's there, all the normal modes are back that you've come to basically expect from FIFA. What's really odd, and I'm not sure if I like this or dislike this, it's just sort of an odd thing. In the career mode, there's the Global Transfer Network, the GTN, and essentially instead of searching whoever you want to pick up, and it was like, oh, this guy's an 83 overall, let's pick him up. Now you have to rely on your scouts, and they will scout out players for you, but they will, and no matter how long you scout the player for, it will never tell you that player's overall rating, which is very annoying. It'll basically do what it did with the youth networks in the past games, where it'll give you like a range of what it could be between. Although in the youth networks, it was like that's the range of their potential. This is what the range of overall what they could be right now. And I don't like this because it will never tell you the overall until you actually bought the player. And there was one instance where where the scout kept telling me how promising this guy was, and I was like, oh, okay. He made it sound like he was the next Messi, essentially. And I picked him up, and the guy was like a 71, which is not what I needed for that squad, and I ended up never using him. So all in all, I wish it eventually told you I like the idea. I just wish it told you the players overall eventually. I mean, you could easily look it up elsewhere in the game what these players' overalls are. Not a few seasons down the line, because then the game starts generating characters and such. But it's just something that I find kind of annoying. It's a bit more realistic because you don't know exactly what every single player is perfect at, but it gives you more of an idea. I just wish it told you the overalls eventually. Well-known players like Bale and Benzema and other Real Madrid players. I don't know why I just named 2 Real Madrid players, but it'll tell you their overalls right away because they're very well-known players and don't really need to be scouted. Other than that, it's a very solid addition to the FIFA franchise. I like it. It's definitely worth a pickup if you didn't already buy FIFA 14 on another console, or just wait like a month down the line. These sports games drop in price quick. We all know this. So whether you should get FIFA or not, it's up to you. If you're a football fan, soccer fan, and you want something to play on your next gen system, honestly, as sad as it is to say, it's kind of one of the stronger launch titles out there. But speaking of things related to football and FIFA and soccer, everyone's favorite cover star, Lionel Messi, has actually just shown up in a brand new commercial by Turkish Airlines, where he faces off with Kobe Bryant in a bunch of challenges and playful events and stuff. It's a really cool commercial. Feel free to go check it out by clicking the annotation at the top right corner of this video, or click the link in the description below. And until next time, I've been Matt Goldsman, and I will see you with my next video. See ya.